All right, here we go. We're live again with the Hackusama webinar series. So today is actually the last of these videos in the series that we have guest speakers. So today we've got Anson from the Web3 Foundation. He's going to talk about Parachain economics. We've got representatives from China again, from the Rust CC communities, as well as from WanXiang. So really excited to hear about their topics. But at the beginning, we like to do like a quick summary of what's been going on. And I'm happy to tell you that we are at 447 participants and submissions have started to roll in. So people did start submitting their first work, albeit it's just 2 or 3, I think, at this point in time. But nonetheless, so we are in the final stretch of Hackusama, and it's been going really well. So let's see what the coming weeks bring. But without further ado, we're going to start with Anson. Just let me find him. We're going to pull Anson in, and he's going to, there we go. He's going to talk about Parachain economics. So for those that don't know Anson is one of the technical educators at the Web3 Foundation. We've heard previously from Logan as well as from Bruno about sort of more technical topics that are very relevant to what people are building in the Hackusama hackathon. So let's wait for Anson to come online. And there he is.
Hello.
Hey, Anson. Hi, how are you?
Good.
We're super excited about the topic that you prepared. So I'm just going to let you do it. Mike, the floor is yours.
Okay, thanks. Oops. Okay. Cool. So, hello everyone. My name is Anson from the Web3 Foundation Tech Ed team. So today I'm going to talk about Parachain economics. We'll talk about what things you need to consider when you are thinking of launching your Parachain on Kusama network or Polkadot network. So it will be a more high-level overview because we still have a lot of things need to figure out before we actually know how it works. So without further ado, let's dive right in. So what are the Parachain economics, right? So in Kusama or Polkadot, there are actually two major components. The first one, which is the core pieces of the node network, is the relay chain. So it contains all the state transition for the all the parachains, and whatever you did on the Kusama network, you have to pay in KSM. So that is the major component. And the other component, which is the Parachain. So it basically is a your own blockchain. So it means you can design your economic incentive to bootstrap your network, to incentivize your collators. So we will talk a little bit more about that as well. So I guess most of you should have some basic understanding of how Polkadot works, right? So I wouldn't go through what Polkadot is because I guess most of you should know about that. So next, so what are the roles of what are the participants for the relay chain and parachain? So actually there are two major ones, but there is extra one called fisherman, but I wouldn't cover that in this presentation. So basically, for each parachain, you will have a collators, which is like a miner. So what they're gonna do, they will bundle a transactions that is happening on the parachain and create proof of validity block to the validators on the relay chain. So, and then the validators will gonna perform a state transition function that the block provided by the Parachain collator to check whether that is valid or not. So this is major two participants for the Parachain and relay chain. So initially there is only a limited number of Parachain snobs for the Kusama network or Polkadot network. So one way or the only way to acquire a Parachain snob is to participate in a snob auction. So in Kusama network, we will do a snob auction on rolling basis. So every 6 months. So each slot acquire for a lease period from 6 months up to 2 years. So if you are able to acquire a Parachain snob, you have to lock up a amount of KSM, because that is through the options. Then we will talk about that later as well. So that means if you acquire a Parachain slot, your KSM will be locked up. So that means you are not able to participate in staking to earn the inflation rewards. So that is the trade-off you need to think about. And we will also talk about if you don't have too many KSM or dots, how can you do a how can you find other way to do a fundraising in the Kusama or Polkadot network? So, okay, so just give you a rough estimate how many KSMs you need to have in order to acquire a Parachain slot. So let's say initially we only have 4 Parachain slots, and right now maybe not exactly. Let's assume we have 10 million of KSM, and the staking partition weight is 50%, so which means it's 5 million of KSM locked up into the Kusama network to participate in staking. So the reason why I select 50%, because 15%, if we reach 50% of staking participation weight, that is the highest reward, inflation rewards you can get. So, but in reality, we can assume the number will be a little bit higher. It will be a little bit more, because I just checked the Kusama network. We have over, I think, 60% of staking partition weight. So basically, then you can do a simple calculation. So the remaining liquid KSM will be around 5 million. Then that means you need to have 1.25 million KSM. Then it's good enough to acquire a Parachain slot. So just a rough number. So in practice, the number I think will be much more small. So so how does the because in order to acquire a slot, we need to go for a slot auction, right? So how does the slot auction works is, so let's say we have 3 bidders, Alice, Brock, and Charlie. Alice submit a 100 KSM for the whole 20 whole lease period, which is 2 years. Brock only submit the first 2 lease period with 15 KSM, and Charlie only submit the bid for the last 2 lease period with 60 KSM. So how does the network to select which bidder will win the auction, right? So although Alice submit the highest the bid amount for the others, right? So, but the network will maximize the bid amount. So in this case, Bob will get the first lease period, which means it's the first year, and Charlie will get the last 2 lease periods. So if we are adding up 15 plus 16, that is 110, right? That is more than 100. So that is why that's why Bob and Charlie will win the auctions. And then 6 months later, we'll do another slot auctions again. So if any others participate in the auctions, then Alice will get the whole lease period for 2 years with 100 KSM. So the KSMs will be given back to you after the end of this period. So the only thing you can't do is your KSM will be diluted because you can't participate in staking. So and then because as we can see, if we want to have a Parachain node, you need to have a huge amount of KSM, right? So that means maybe not too many people or team, they have a huge amount of KSM or dots. So that's why we have another way for them to use the Polkadot system. So that is called a Parafax. So basically, they have the same features, functionalities. They have a full security, instant connectivity, but the throughput is a little bit different because if you have a Parachain node, it doesn't have any restriction on throughput. That means you can submit a transaction for every block. But for Parafax, you need to participate in auction for every block. So that means that is a little bit different. So it depends on case by case. Some use cases may maybe think they can use Parafax is good enough. And one more thing is so at the end of let's say if I have a Parachain, but for the entire this period, it doesn't has too many people are using the Parachain. So that means the throughput is really low, right? So at that moment, then you can still transition from Parachain to Parafax. So because some chain maybe they don't has too many usage, right? So there is one way to transition from Parafax to from Parachain to Parafax, and of course you can also transition from Parafax to Parachain if you are able to demonstrate the throughput and the more on the sustainability side as well. So yes. Okay, so the nice thing is so as we talk about to have a Parachain node, you need a huge amount of KSM, right? So in Substrate, actually that is a runtime module which allows you to do a crowdfunding to do a IPO initial Parachain offer, right? So basically is you allows a contributors who has KSM to log up to support your Parachain in exchange of your Parachain token. Let's say if your Parachain has a local native token for your Parachain, then you can do this kind of stuff to incentivize the token holder to support your Parachain. So yeah, we will see a lot of this kind of stuff. I would love to see in the maybe next 6 months to 1 year. So collator incentivization on Parachain. So basically, as I said earlier, so because for each Parachain, we're gonna have a collator, right? So they don't work for free, right? You have to have some incentive for them to work for your Parachain, right? So you can some models like transaction fee. So let's say you when they bundle a transaction, then maybe 20% is for rewarding for the collators, right? Or treasury or external incentivizations you can think of. But this is we will see in the next half a year because we right now we actually haven't seen a real any substrate based chains they are doing this kind of stuff, but we would love to see that. Okay, so designing your own Parachain, right? So Parachain economy still there are different kinds of things you need to think. So for example, your parachain will be a utility token or asset-backed by token or fixed total supply or inflationary base or a governance token for your parachain, because you can Kusama, you in order to upgrade the network, that it has to go through the governance process, right? So just like Polkadot or Kusama, you can have a way of governance process to upgrade your runtime through the voting process. So you can design your token that is a governance token or a utility-based token. So this is up to you. While the token distribution method, just we talked about, so you can do an IPO, treasury, or ecosystem funding. So this is kind of stuff you can think about as well. And the variables will be really depends on inflation rate, money supplies, bought rewards, this kind of stuff. So like monetary policy. So this is much more like will affect your economy, whether it will be sustainable or not. So because each blockchain or parachain is actually like a economy, right? So you need to make sure your chain is sustainable enough to survive. So last but not least, so this week we just launched a parachain test network, so called Bootcamp, right? So it supports horizontal message passing, which means there are 3 parachains on this network, which calls, I think is called treat tech something like that. So it supports transfer tokens in between these parachains. So that means you can transfer a token from parachain A to parachain B through the relay chain. So you can check it out. That is already available on the Polkadot.js website. And Cumulus. So Cumulus is a parachain development toolkit. So basically, right now, if you are using a substrate to write your chain, it's not compatible with Polkadot relay chain consensus. Cumulus is a toolkit which is what your substrate one-time module follows the Polkadot relay chain consensus. So I think you can test it right now, because I see some tutorial is available already. So feel free to check it out if you want to connect to Polkadot as a parachain on Kusama network or Polkadot network. I think, yeah, so that is what I have. If you want to have any questions about Polkadot, Kusama, feel free to drop me a message on Riot or WeChat or Telegram. So feel free to check out our wiki as well. There is a lot of technical information. You will find it. So thanks. If you guys have any questions, just let me know.
Okay, very nice, Anson, very nice. I think this is a topic that is, it's a very hot topic. It's something that is going to drive development and expansion of the Polkadot and Kusama ecosystems in the coming years. So when we talk about parachains, right, there's always this question, but how much is this going to cost, and how to become a parachain. And I know we spoke today about auctions and all of that, right? But do you have like an estimate? Is there like an estimate that we could give people, telling them, is a parachain slot going to cost, I don't know, 1,000 KSM or 10,000 KSM or 1,000,000 KSM? I know we spoke about, fictive numbers, and it's, 1,000,000 KSM and so on, but do you have a best estimate what the reality is going to be?
It's really hard to say, because as I mentioned earlier, so we are already in Kusama network. We have over 60% of KSM already staked to the network, right? So that means we only have 40% left. That is that maybe even less for 40% because some token may already used in participate in the governance process, right? For the governance, if you work some proposal, you have to lock up some token as well. So that means some tokens will be used for liquidity purpose for trading, right? So that means maybe we will see, I guess, 10 to 20% of KSM will be used for doing Parachain stops. So I think 10% will be a good number to estimate. So which means around 1 million. But I think in reality it will be much less. But we will see. I would love to know as well.
Yeah, me too. I'm really excited that the guys finalized Cumulus and we actually get the first parachains to connect. So just if everybody's if anybody's not following, what Anson was explaining right now is you've got this relay chain and parachains can connect to it. And right now there's this missing piece which is called Cumulus, which is a piece of software that would allow substrate-based chains to become actual parachains, right? So one more thing, we talk often about shared security, right? And the idea behind Kusama and Polkadot is, you have this relay chain and the whole ecosystem shares security through validators. But we also know that each shard, so each parachain can have their own consensus mechanism built in. So what's the relationship between these shards and the shared security? How does that play into?
I don't think the Parachain can have their own consensus, but they can have their own way to produce a block because the consensus pass. So they can't change the consensus which Polkadot is using, right? So yeah, so one way they can do is to change the way how they gonna produce a block, like for a proof of work, but the finality part is done in the relay chain, right? So yeah, that is.
There you go.
Yeah.
Awesome. So if there's no questions from our audience, let's move to our next guest. Anson, I'm going to take you off the screen. Thank you very much for this presentation. This was really insightful. If people have any questions for Anson later on, he's also in the Discord channel. He's available on Riot, as well as the rest of our technical educators that can help out. So thank you very much, Anson. And there we go. Close the video. Now our second guest is going to be Yukun Hao. There we go. Let's invite him on the screen. Okay, awesome. Should be joining very soon. As always, we have a mix of countries here. It's great to see our Chinese community as well growing and working together with us. We do have quite a lot of participants from China, so I don't think we're ripe for a full-on Chinese language webinar at this point, but we're definitely eager to hear from Yukun to tell us a little bit about what they are doing. Okay, should be on soon. But yeah, in general, Anson's topic is very, very relevant because one of the topics that people are competing in Hackusama is the parachain stuff. So, there we go. Awesome. Yukun, welcome. How are you doing today?
Hey, nice. It's great. Hey.
Awesome. So I'm gonna leave you to it. You can go ahead and share your screen, have a presentation, and we can have a chat afterwards. And if there's any questions, guys, just please leave a note, leave a question, and we're gonna address it after the presentation.
Okay. Will? Yeah, here. Hello, everyone. It's very nice. It's very grand to be here to share some thoughts on the growth of blockchain startups. And I'm Yukun Hao from WanXiang blockchain, and also the secretary of IEEE Computer Society and the Blockchain and Distributors Standard Association. And at first, I wanna introduce our company, the WanXiang blockchain. And firstly, we entered the blockchain industry in 2016, and we started the first non-profit blockchain labs in Asia, and we also invited well-known the Vitaly Brooklyn as our chief scientist. And also in the past 5 years, we have invested over 200 projects with $150 million. And I think we have got many good friends and good projects all over the world via the use of capital. And at first, we have paid much attention to join the standardization of our country and all over the world, just like ISO TC 307 and IEEE CBDL. And we have held the global blockchain summit in 5 constructive years. We have met so many good friends to join us, join our summit in Shanghai, and we also held the 6th summit in the last week of October in 2020. Welcome all our friends to join us. And with the 5 years promotion of the blockchain industry, we have built such a large scope. On the bottom layers, we built a fundamental layer of based on the resource on the support of WanXiang group and our global communities and some well-known capitals and partners from business and technology. On the middle layer, we have set up for channel of business like innovation research, investment, innovation business consulting, and blockchain product and services. On the top layer, we help and we gathering many startups, early stage teams, and some industrial clients. We think that with the 3 layers of different role of our industry, we can know what's going on, and we can know what's happening now and what will going on next. And also introduce the Nutrient Base. Nutrient Base is the Shanghai municipal incubator on the northbound of Hong Kong district, and we provide over 1,300 parameters workspace for our startups. We will, I think we can invite many industrial startup teams and projects to our Nutrient Base, and we can provide many services, including the basic services like tax and legal consulting and human resource. We also help our startup teams to build their branding, and we can connect some industry resources like the localization of our C teams and also we can play a role of bridge of investment and financing, and finally we can do some entrepreneurship consulting with our loaded our landed startup projects. And then we'll talk something about the sorts of growth of our blockchain startups. First, I want to say is that we should know the current state of our blockchain industry. With past 5 years of fast growth, we think that almost all of our participants of blockchain industry, we think that we already, or we just R&D doing disruptive innovation, but with so many years, I think we hardly find a massive adoption of our blockchain project. So I think there must something wrong with this, and I have a long thinking about this problem, and why blockchain has not yet been applied on large scale. I think there might be 4 reasons. That I think the first reason is the imperfect thorough and low acceptance. I think the first reason might have another talk that's centralized and decentralized. The current IT infrastructure has the centralized. I think this is centralized, and in many older society, many people of the older society, they think that the centralized IT infrastructure is good enough. Why we have to use a novel technology. We call it decentralized, we call it democracy, but actually this new decentralized IT infrastructure has so many problems. So I think the first problem is the concept for people's mind, and the second one is that the immature technology. Actually, I think the current state we face in many problems. In fact, indeed, the reason is that the emerging technology, just like the problem of storage, problem of performance, and the problem of storage. So I think on the good side is that based on this emerging points, we do our efforts to promote the progress of blockchain development. But on the other hand, all of these emerging points that stop our progress of become or get more attractive and be applied on a large scale. And the third reason is that current infrastructure of blockchain is facing a problem is that there is high cost and low availability, and I think when we talk to our business partners, we sell our solution or point or product to the companies for older society. They always blame that your storage is so high, so and you have so many constraints that the availability is not good enough. And I think all of this have stopped the application of blockchain. And the fourth reason is that currently we have only limited solutions in practical problems. Always when we sold our solution or talk to our customers, we always said that we have the novel IT infrastructure. We have the solution of supply chain finance, and we have the solution of good tracing. But I think currently this solution is not enough, and I think our customers, especially some business customers, they need more novel and practical solution. Yeah. So I think besides all of this, I think there might some potential industrial opportunities in the technology. And the first is common services. The reason why I call it common services is that the privacy, DID, combination, practical, all of these products can be used in many ways, like for tracing, good tracing, like finance, supply chain finance, and like some other solutions. We all need these common services. And the second, second one is the blockchain platform. We call it platform because I think it's a plugin of current IT infrastructure, and I think it's extendability to current chains like the cross-chain or cross-chain. I think we currently have a good solution for single scenario for of business application, but we have a new requirement is that we need to have we need to connect all of these current blockchain solutions. So we need a cross chain. And the third one is infrastructure. And I think this in this scenario, here's infrastructure means lower layer than the current blockchain, like distributed cloud services, like staking, like storage. I have shared some thinking about the current shortback the shortback of current blockchain solutions. So besides, and I think there might some more problems of our usage and application of blockchain. So besides all, we in the April or May of 2020, we have a collaboration with the Web3 Foundation and a party. We set up the Web3 Bootcamp program. I think the goal of this Bootcamp program is to use our to share our effective resources in ecosystem and capital and technical to build a novel program that help the startup teams for substrate, help them to help them some a series of consulting and coaching and some resource help them to help become mature. I think we have two phase of the Bootcamp program. The first phase is acceleration phase. We have 3 months of comprehensive training. We provide the training among many practical fields like technology, products, investment and financing, policy and compliance, financial management, marketing, and human resource. I think all of this field is very is very basic to a merger company, but I think it's very important to our startup teams, because I think many startup teams, they have a good idea, they have good technology but solution, but they need some merger. They need some knowledge for financial, marketing, and human resource. I think helps them to build their team from zero to hero. And the second phase of our bootcamp is the POC, and as the role of making so many business scenarios, we will provide the opportunities to connect these startup teams with merger companies in automobile, supply chain finance, smart city, insurance, public affairs, and copyright. We think that we should connect these startup teams with good technology, good solution, good idea to the to this business, to this industry. Companies help them find a new opportunity, find a new scenario which can use blockchain to solve their problem. And currently we have collect our requirement for our 15 teams which are participating in the bootcamp program, and then next we will help them to get the opportunity to participate in the POC for these big guys. And finally, I think the bootcamp is a very good chance to promote the progress of growing up of the 15 startup teams. And I have more suggestions on the suggestions for the startups. And the first thing is that cost control and management, because fundraising is not easy. A good mechanism for cost control can help our teams live long, and I think live long means more chance to growing up. And the second is our teams must maintain the advantage of competition. You may I think the competition advantage is crucial for startup teams. You think you have competition advantage of technology or products or operation or branding or some other resource. I think anyone is okay, but you have maintain one or at least one. More is better. Yeah, and the last one is do the right thing at the right stage. I think this word has a meaning of the philosophy, but I think our startup teams have progress from zero to hero and from one to more. We have crossed many different stages, and I think the requirement of many of any stage is not the same. And I think any stage have their specific requirement, and any stage has their own difficulties. I congratulate our teams can cross all of the growing up stage and become a merger company and choose their goal that have already been written on their white papers. Okay, that's all. Thanks all of you to listen to my sharing. And if you have any problems and question, please ask me. Thank you.
All right, awesome. Thank you very much for this presentation. I do have a follow-up question for you because we've actually just been talking about the Web3 Bootcamp that you guys are organizing and putting together. Can you tell us a little bit more about it, how it's going, how many teams are enrolled, when do they finish the bootcamp, and anything that you think would be interesting to hear for participants that are coming in this ecosystem? Is this something that they want to look at in the future?
Okay, thanks for your question. First, I want to introduce all of our 15 teams which have already participating in the program. I think their topic is various, include the privacy protection, like the DRD, like DEX, like DeFi, like stacking, and some other topic. Yeah, I think it's very fantastic that so many different topic teams to join us. Yeah, just as I just mentioned, our solution need more. We cannot only limited in our topic on good tracing, finance. Oh, that's very ugly. We need a various topic. Yeah. It's the first thing, and the second thing I want to say that we have a we have one thing to say that all of the all the people, a developer or teams, which we have a name of bootcamper, which means the alumni of bootcamp, that we welcome all of these developers which have pay attention to our progress. No matter they have joined, they have participating, or they just think this is cool. We welcome all of these different people to continually participate in our activities or events. We think that we not only host one bootcamp program, which will start on April and will end on the end of 2020. We think that its ecosystem will host many years, and we believe that with our promotion to the ecosystem, we will accumulate many developers to join us.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Thank you. We do have a question from the crowd, and this is actually what I wanted to ask you even before Yao posted this. So his question is, are there any real scenarios in current use cases in China? And this is something that's always fascinated me as well, right? Because we have all this development going on and there's new technology being introduced. But can you tell us a bit more about what's going on in China? Is the technology being adopted? What are some of the use cases that are being adopted in China specifically?
Okay. I think there are many scenarios have become a merger, and the first one is supply chain finance. The current there's a long time that the small and medium enterprises have a problem of fundraising. They hardly get the support of the financial entities because they are small and medium. They do not have a high high credit score, so they can't get fundraising to these financial supply entities. But after I remember it's 2016, yeah, there are some supply chain finance blockchain solutions that aim to help these SME, small and medium enterprises to get financial services from the traditional financial service entities like a bank, like bank, not even the bank or some other entities that get money. Yeah, I think it's not a very hard solution. It's, I think, very simple. The one thing is that we put many business data on the blockchain, and all of this data is has been encrypted. Yeah. First, and then our financial service entities, they can build their credit models based on these encrypted data that they can give a credit score to the SME. Yeah, with the score and the model, they find that, okay, I know you, I can give a service to all of these SMEs. So since 2016 to now, I think there's a billion money have been sent from the financial services to the SME via the supply chain finance solutions based on blockchain. I think in current China, the supply chain finance is the biggest one solution or application of blockchain. Yeah, and there might be some other kind of solution like the goods tracing, because with the development of our society, people have a higher requirement of our food, our vegetables, our medicines. So and also due to the COVID-19 of this spring, we use the blockchain to trace all of these things on the IT system. Yeah, I think the tracing solution with blockchain is the second big one solution in China, and also some other solutions like the industry connection. We call it industry internet via blockchain. We also try to promote the progress of application, and also some public affairs and data privacy protection with blockchain. And I think it's not only it's a solution that not only use blockchain, but we use some other technologies like zero knowledge proof, multi-part computing, yeah, some other encrypted technologies about with blockchain to solve these problems in this situation. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you very much. I think it's great that you gave these examples. It's always good to talk about use cases and what blockchain really solves. So it's great that you gave these examples. So we're going to actually wrap it up. Unfortunately, Mike from RustCC is not going to be joining us today. But in any case, I'd like to thank Yukun, you and Anson both for these wonderful presentations. There you go. I'm going to take you off the camera now. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you.
All right, everybody. So we're going to be wrapping up today's session. It's been great to hear both from Anson and from the Chinese side, from WanXiang. Yukun gave a wonderful presentation about what's actually going on. Again, keep in mind that the ecosystem is growing, and we've got a lot of these participants that come in, like WanXiang, who can help you out on your future trajectory. We have the Berkeley Blockchain Accelerator. There's the grants program from the Web3 Foundation. There's the Web3 Bootcamp in China, and so on. So there's many opportunities to take what you're going to develop in Hackusama to the next level via some of these aids that the whole ecosystem actually has. So again, thank you very much. This has been the last session with some of our guest speakers. Next week, me and Dan are going to be wrapping up the whole of Hackusama. Keep in mind that the submission date is the 14th of August. So we do have some time. It's the 6th of August today. We still have some time, but you should be probably wrapping up development. You should be preparing for actually submitting it. Please have a look at the hacker guide as well as the rules, because there's some nuances to how submissions have to be done if you haven't checked it out. But in any case, if you have any questions, you need any help with, do reach out to us. We're always available either on Discord, via email, via Riot, Telegram, any channel that you like, we're going to be available. So thank you very much, everybody, and see you next week.